What is up, guys? Welcome to the Game Over Guild channel where we talk about game tips, gameplay, and just straight up have fun about video games. Now, today's a little bit different of a video, mainly because it's technically a movie review, but I don't really do those. I just try to play video games and give you guys tips along the way. But there is a movie that came out that is a video game movie, and it has been weighing on my heart, and I've honestly been waiting since November, December, to be able to watch this movie, and it's just been unavailable until about 2 days ago when it was able to be bought on Google Play. I'm sure there's other places you could buy it for, but I'm an Android user, so that's where I got it. And if you can't tell, it's Monster Hunter. I absolutely love Monster Hunter. My boy Ellis got me into it, and I've been hooked ever since. I buy the collectibles, I buy figures, I do everything for Monster Hunter. I'm actually trying to create some content for Monster Hunter. Just been trying to figure out how to do it right now. I'm consumed with Demon Souls. So I'm psyched for Monster Hunter Rise, and with this movie, I was extremely excited. I mean, it's a chance to see monsters on the big screen, and yeah, I mean, obviously I was hesitant. Even from the trailers, that they're pulling in from another world to come into the new world of the world of Monster Hunter, and it's like, how's that gonna work? And I'll get into how good how it was. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It's hate it. I guess I had really low expectations. So I kind of went into it just wanting to watch it for the monsters, for the palicos, to just seeing everything, seeing the Admiral. I heard a lot of bad things about the fact that they didn't speak English in it, and that created some controversy in China and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Ron Perlman, who plays the Admiral, pretty beautiful actually. I really like him. He's a little less optimistic than the Admiral, but still, I liked him in it. And he speaks English, so it was like really confused. I didn't understand how that happened. By the way, spoiler review. This is a spoiler review. We're going to talk about a lot of things that happens in this movie. So if you don't want to know and you want to wait and be surprised on your own, stop the video, go watch it, come back and watch this. So yeah, it is It's not a good movie, but it's not a bad one either. Like, okay, let's go. CGI, pretty good. I did like being able to see Black Diablos, like fucking running through the desert, and like the way they did that, I thought it was really cool. The main characters, you don't really care about them too much, but I mean, to be real, when you're playing Monster Hunter World, because this is based off of Monster Hunter World, it's collective of all the Monster Hunters, but let's be real, it's based off of Monster Hunter World. You got the Clutch Claw, you got everything from it. Like, this is Monster Hunter World. It even basically says it in the part, because it's talking about the new world. But it's a weird movie. I know I'm a little flushed, but I wanted to give you guys a review like fresh after just watching it. I literally just stopped. So there's a lot of juices bubbling in me. I'm trying to compose myself because I'm torn. It was a guilty pleasure. I think it's going to become a guilty pleasure for me, to be real. Because like when you open up and you watch the sand ships and they're rolling through and you see the handlers, which I love the fucking handlers. The handlers are one of my favorite parts of the games. They're just so cute and I just love them. I have like 2 handler figures and they're my absolute favorite. So being able to see them and like the costume design, I mean, spot on. Like it felt like I was in the game. And it does that for about 5 minutes, and you really feel like you're in this world of Monster Hunter, and you're watching the ships, you're watching everything operate, and it's really awesome. And then your main character gets thrown off into the sand, and bam, now you're in our world, which is the real world, and I just feel like they should have done that. It should have just stayed there, but whatever. There's a lot of people talking about the fact that like, coming from our world, it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, when you play Monster Hunter World, there are side quests. So that's what I'll say. This movie's a side quest. All right, that's what this movie is. Because basically, a lot of side quests. There are a few side quests in it, especially with the crystal that brings in other people from other worlds. Like you had the Witcher in Monster Hunter World. You had all these other characters that just came in and you were able to play as them. And I feel like that's kind of what this is. So when people say that it's not really accurate to the game, I don't know. I mean, if you look at it as like it's a side quest, then it was good. It was good. It was a good movie because it was a side quest. If you're looking at it as like a foundation for a Monster Hunter movie, no. I mean, if you don't know shit about Monster Hunter, I'm pretty sure you're gonna walk away not really liking it. But I feel like if you have like a reference of Monster Hunter, then you're gonna end up kind of like loving hating it. Because I mean, Diablos, I love them. Rathalos is in there, which is really funny that I made him the big bad. I know he's like, I spat a little bit. I know he's like the big bad in this, but like, he's also like pretty much the mascot. I mean, he's on my shirt, so like he's pretty much the mascot of Monster Hunter. But in reality, especially in World, you fight him really early on, and then you keep going back. Like he's not really that hard to hit, kill, and you fight him one-on-one. So the fact that he's the big bad in this and he's like freaking huge, that's another thing. The scaling on these is like ridiculous. Like they just made them super huge, and I feel like they did that just because they could and to make it seem like it was more scary. But Rathalos, like in a normal size, is still scary. So I don't know, they made him super big. But the movie itself, I got to see a Palico. All right, that was awesome. Palicos are one of my favorite things besides like the handler and stuff. Like Palicos are my favorite from Monster Hunter universe. Like I love Palicos. You get to see one. You get to see the chef, and he does a little cook intro just like you're in the game. And they 100% put that in for the fans. That it made no sense at all, but they did. They put it in there, and I felt like it was cut from something else. Like they filmed more like a eating scene, and then they just cut this and put it in. But yeah, I mean, it was cool seeing them. I got really excited watching it. I feel like that's my problem, is like this first viewing, I was just excited to see all my favorite characters and see the monsters and stuff like that, which is really cool. So she goes into the world with like a whole team. Like T.I.'s in it. Like there's some big names in this cast, and like T.I.'s in it, and they all die. They all die. Like I said, spoiler review. They all die, and basically Captain Artemis is left, and she has to try to find a way to communicate with the hunter, and they build a bond, and they ended up, she kind of gets trained in a montage scene, which I thought, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the greatest to watch, but it was still pretty good. So yeah, it was good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a guilty pleasure for me. Definitely not gonna be the movie of the year or like a movie that people really remember. They definitely set it up for a sequel though, and I don't know, like the way he does Resident Evil, the director, he also directs Resident Evil. So like the way he does that, like he just continues making movies even if they're shit. So to be real, I think they're gonna make a sequel, and I'm kind of okay with that because I felt like we got to Monster Hunter at the end. Like it moved to Monster Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't Monster Hunter at the beginning. It wasn't Monster Hunter in the beginning, and it came back at the very end as Monster Hunter. And yeah, I think in the end was the start of the movie. You know what I mean? Like that was like where the movie was getting good. They technically didn't finish the movie. They really didn't, because the whole goal was to get her back, and then she goes back in, so she doesn't leave. And the whole goal was to like take down the tower so that we could stop the interchanging of the worlds, but they don't even do that. So like it's not the end of the movie. It's almost like they rushed this out and like cut out half the movie, because that's the other half of the movie, or at least like 40 minutes of the rest of the movie, where she like destroys the tower, comes it up, and there are like a couple other monsters that pop up. The scenery is really beautiful, but like yeah, it's half a movie, guys. Like I honestly think you're gonna watch Monster Hunter, like if they come out with a second one, it's gonna be like a part 2, and I think you're just gonna combine it together. Well, at least that's the way they should do it. They should not do it where it's like years in the future or different. So like if they're gonna do it this way, they should do a part 2 and continue it on how they did it, or in the next one they switched to the hunter side because, all right, so everyone was kind of like mad about the language and like the fact that he couldn't speak English, but it makes sense. Like in the Monster Hunter world, especially since this game is from Capcom and Japanese, they don't speak English. All right, we're just listening to it through our translation. You know what I mean? Like they don't speak English, so it'd be really cool to like go into this and like see it from the hunter's view and like hear the English as they're talking, because man, like that story is the story I want to see. And I think if this movie did enough well, I think it can move forward and do that. I think it should do that. I think it should stay fully in the Monster Hunter world, just because there's 1,000 ways you could do this story and there's 1,000 ways you could do it better. Did I mention the handlers? Like, they're so freaking cute. Like, they're so, like, it's almost like they did, like, CGI around them to make them more cute. Like, it's weird. Like the main hunter, like, he's really dirty, but, like, everyone else is, like, really clean, very, like, you know, shiny. And it's almost like they are video game characters. That'd be crazy if that was CGI and they were not real, but they're not. Like, it's real people, but like they made them. It was like the best cosplay that I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was the Monster Hunter world. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like, so I'm gonna give it like probably like a C rating, because it's a movie that I'll watch again and I'll watch over and over again, and it's a guilty pleasure. It's not a good movie. It doesn't, like, the storyline is like, you don't really have to pay attention to it. It's kind of like the game. You don't really have to pay attention to the storyline. You just have to play the game. You just go for the hunts. So, yeah, if you go into that aspect, the movie's great, you know? But if you're going in for a good story, nada. It's really not. You get this whole storyline about her family, but like they never talk about it. And then like the fact that like the whole point of this was for her to go home because she wants to be with her family, I guess, like a husband, kids. I don't know. They don't ever say. They just have a wedding ring that she like holds on to. But they never go into it. And then, but it's a sole thing about her. She wants to go home. And then family's a big thing because like the hunter's family was killed, and like, yeah, so it's a big thing. And then at the very end, she just goes back into it. So it's like, okay, fuck your family, I guess. But, oh man, this is a passionate review about this game, because it's a guilty pleasure. That's what alright, it's not getting a rating. It's getting a guilty pleasure rating. That's what it's getting. It's not getting an A through F. It's just getting a guilty pleasure, because, and the truth is, I do like this movie. And that's just because it is absolutely adorable. So, it sucks, and it's great. So it's guilty pleasure. It's so bad that it's good. Alright? That's what it is. It's exactly what the other Resident Evil movies were. They're so bad, but they're so good. Like, you just want to watch them because it's zombies and they're killing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not watching it for the story. But, like, Monster Hunter is kind of the same way. Like, I know the story of Monster Hunter, and I actually did pay attention to the cutscenes. But the truth of the matter is, you cannot pay attention to cutscenes and you know what's going on. You just get your quest, you go hunt, you build weapons, blah, 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 blah. That's the whole point of the game. So, honestly, you can watch this movie and just enjoy the hunts and, you know, all that stuff, and it's good. I do think for the second one, because they definitely set it up for a sequel. So, if you get done watching this, stay to the post-credits, because there is a little cutscene. And because, like I said, it felt like they ended the movie early. The next cutscene is them flashing back. Well, I'll let you watch it, but it goes back to the world, and you kind of get a semi better ending. I think that should have been where it was, and you get like a semi better ending. There is a Wyvern. I thought that was pretty cool. That was a nice little hint. Obviously, if you know nothing about the Monster Hunter world, like, you're not gonna fucking notice that. But the Palico starts fighting. It's weird that they only use the chef. You know, like, they use him for fighting, but it's just the chef. Like, not all Palicos are you know, Palicos. You know what I mean? Like, some of them are just felines. Like, and the chef is just literally that. So I don't know. It was weird seeing that, but it was cool being able to see it. It was almost like it was fan service. It 100% was. But yeah, I mean, go watch the movie. I mean, it's $20. It's not even that bad. Go watch it. Enjoy it. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter, watch it. I'm probably not going to do, like, unless a video game movie comes out, I'm not going to do another review, because I tend to ramble. But, yeah, go watch it. I'm going to be real. If you're a fan of the Monster Hunter series, go watch it. I mean, you probably hate some of it. There's probably guys out there that are, like, way deep in the lore and look at it and be like, oh, no, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It sucked. But in reality, I thought it was a guilty pleasure, and come on, guys. Come on, as gamers, when the hell do we actually get a video game movie that is accurate to what we love? I mean, come on, we're setting high standards for shit that we love, you know. So I just enjoy movies for what they are. Like, I even like the Sonic movie, Sonic, Detective Pikachu. Like, they're just good movies, you know. Watch it because it's your favorite characters. That's what it is. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. You guys take it easy. If you like this video and you want to watch some gameplay, get some game tips and stuff, I just uploaded a Demon Souls trick tip to mining souls. So if you want to go check that out, just subscribe, go to my channel, click on it. It's way shorter than this one, I promise. All right, you guys take it easy. As always, be safe. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's an insect glaive in it. I mean, at the very end, you get to see it, and he does a jump on it, and it's amazing. Oh, dude, that was awesome. Plus, the charge blades were pretty cool to see in action. I mean, used totally wrong against Rathalos, but still pretty awesome. Anyway. Oh, such a good movie! I'm so in love.